Hello people, today is Tuesday, September the 23rd, and I didn't really notice it until Monday, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to put a video out lately. I've been very busy, kind of getting roads maintained for the state of North Carolina, and then I tore a muscle in my left rotator cuff, which kind of put me down for about a week. But now I'm kind of back up and going. Now, I'm going to show you these splits that we did sometime back. I think they were in August. And I've been checking on these splits almost every week, hoping for activity. You know, we started with 9 splits, and one went totally bellied up, and then that left us with 8. And out of that 8, there were 4 that were really kind of just on the weak side for me, and I wasn't really wanting to try any harder to try to see if something would happen, and I didn't want to lose them. So I consolidated 4 of the weaker splits into 4 stronger splits, which just left us with 4 splits. And I've been checking these hives, like I said, every week. And I literally checked these hives on Sunday and still did not see any activity of a queen or eggs or anything. So I went down to the field where I usually keep my splits at, and I loaded them up in my truck, and I carried them out to one of my yards, and I was going to diddy the frames up throughout the hives that might have been weak to try to give them a little bit of a help of a boost. And as I was pulling the frames to put them into a hive, I noticed that there was a queen on one. So I was very happy, and she had laid a bunch of eggs. And I'll show you here in a little bit what we're talking about. So out of that 4 splits, I had one that just wasn't producing anything queen-wise. So I went ahead and I cycled it back into another colony to try to help its numbers out. So we got 3 walkaway splits that made it. And here in a little bit, I will show you, hopefully we can find the queen, and I'll show you the egg production that we've got, and this is our August. Now come next year, I'm hoping that we will do a lot better. I've got some queen rearing items now. We're going to be trying to do our own queens come next year. So, by the grace of God, we can get all our hives winterized. They're strong coming out of the winter. And we can make more splits. And with this, we can make our own queens. And we can guarantee that our splits have queens to them. And then that'll be doubling our hive numbers. Because we actually did take a fairly big loss of 2024 to 2025 with the beehive collapsion disorder. I want to say we lost probably about half of our population of hives. And I'm sorry I look like a mess. I just got off of work. Another day of doing road maintenance. We ended up putting in a big 30-inch cross-line pipe in. And usually takes some good time, and we go from start to finish, from cutting the road, digging it out, putting new pipe in, backfilling, and then going straight into asphalt. And my crew's a pretty good crew. I mean, we are a bunch of solid individuals that get the job done, and we all work together very well like. And that's the secondary family to me. But let me go ahead and stop this real quick and get set up on the tripod, and we'll start breaking up some of these hives, and I'll show you hopefully some of the eggs that are in there. So here we're back again. Let me adjust this just a tad little bit better, and then I'll have to readjust back again. But here we are, and here's my 3 splits. So I noticed you notice that I don't have any sugar water on right now. Right now we're kind of going through a little bit of a goldenrod spike. So I'm letting them get the nectar off that goldenrod instead of feeding them sugar water. Because God forbid they will get sugar water after this harvest coming up. So they can get overwinterized, put brood out, and then hopefully be strong come next year. But let's take a look at this box real quick. Now I probably won't break into all of these at once, but I desperately wanted to show you at least one. And that right there is a great amount of colony right there. Yep, got a little sting in the finger. Nothing big. And all that brown right there under the bees is all brood. Now I'm gonna try to take my phone off the tripod here in a second, and I'm gonna try to get a real good close-up of maybe the eggs on the inside. But that queen right there, for being a new queen, is laying perfect brood cycles. So just give me a second and let me get this off the tripod, and we'll try to take a good look at the eggs that are in there, or larvae. And right there, as you can see, is fresh larvae inside that brood pattern. All that little white stuff right there is nothing but brood. This queen is doing an amazing job. I'm not really seeing her at the moment, but that doesn't mean that she is not there. And all these will be fresh new bees. And hopefully, once this brood hatching has gone into effect, these bees numbers will be big enough to outlive this box and hopefully go into one of our bigger hive boxes. But I promise that all the boxes are just the same. It's kind of the end of the day. I'm getting a little tired. They're getting a little cranky. So we're probably going to cut this video off right here. And plus they're getting a little mean and they're stinging. But as far as that goes, and I'm sorry if I'm a little jumpy with the camera. I'm trying to go back to being able to walk around still. But as far as it goes, the best thing that I could say about beekeeping is patience. Patience is the biggest thing out there. And see, I was willing to give up thinking that they weren't going to make it. I've been checking these things ever since August. And I was about ready to recycle them until I started going through them and noticed that we had a queen. Now I'm excited. That's 3 additional colonies that will make to go into our hive family. But like always, if you like these videos, please hit the subscribe button on them. If you have any comments, anything that I'm doing wrong, and you want to leave a comment on the video, please do. Feedback is the biggest thing in life. And if I am doing something wrong, I will definitely get back with you and try to get pointers on the next one. So, like always, you guys have a very beautiful September 23rd day of what's left of it. And I will see you next time.